What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. Today's topic is surprisingly very heavily suggested despite how niche the subject matter sounds. So it's going to be a weird scenario just because, look at the title. Universe 6 is going to be replaced with GT's universe. I'm going to have to take some creative liberties here, and I will be explaining that later on in the video, but we will make it work, and it will make for a very interesting story as we go forward. So, what changes are going to occur here, and how is this going to affect the story? Clearly it's going to have a lot of big effects, but what will they be? We'll be seeing that and more in this part, as we set up this new scenario with what if Universe 6 was GT's universe. For this video, let's set a like goal of 4444 likes, because Super Saiyan 4. It's fitting. And if we hit that, hey, we could probably do another part. Maybe? Something? I don't know. Anyways, let's pick up from here. So, just to set things up right away, this is mostly going to be focused on Universe 6 here, or GT's universe, whatever you want to call it. And it may only be a few parts long, and you're going to see why. But how would this even work? Well, we're going to treat the two universes as separate timelines, essentially, at different points in the story. That's the simplest way of doing this, and we'll get more into that as the story goes on. Universe 7 will remain exactly the same. Everything that happens in this timeline up to the Universe 6 tournament is pretty much exactly how it went in Dragon Ball Super and whatever. As for Universe 6, that has all of GT's events up to the baby arc, and then Champa's gonna wake up. We're gonna say that he was sleeping too like Beerus. That's another change we make here. The reason we're treating this like a separate timeline and putting them ahead of Universe 7, well, it wouldn't really work if we didn't do that. Because if we took Universe 6 and just made it pretty much Universe 7 cloned, it would basically be like a duplicate Universe 7. All the events there would go the same and GT wouldn't have happened because it's already so far in the future. This is a pretty necessary change if we want this to be GT's universe. Anywho, Champa wakes up and his first thought is to visit Universe 7. He wants to get the Super Dragon Balls. He's not really too sure what exactly he wants out of it yet, but he knows he wants to get them just for himself, just in case. And he ends up meeting Beerus again, who also just recently awakened from a nap, although a little bit before him. He tries some food there too and finds out that it's from a planet called Earth. And it just so happens that Earth does exist in Universe 6, or at least it did exist. Remember how I mentioned this is right after Baby happened? Well, this is why, because Earth gets destroyed there. Of course, it is going to be brought back, but Champa doesn't know that. Vados tells him that Earth was just recently destroyed, like right before he woke up. And Champa's definitely going to be pissed about this. He definitely needs those Super Dragon Balls, but Beerus isn't just going to give them up that easily. Well, they come up with an idea. Champa does see the two people that are here. And everyone suggests the idea of a tournament between Universe 6 and 7. Or that's the conclusion that they come to at least. And Champa ends up agreeing with it. Although he doesn't really know anything about the mortals in his universe, so this would be a good chance to learn about that. Hopefully they're strong enough to contend here. And because he was also sleeping too and does need some more time, Beerus graciously grants him it. In Universe 7, they'll spend this time training, while Champa goes around his universe finding strong fighters. It'll be beneficial for both of them, so they both agree to it. Champa begins his research on mortals, trying to figure out who the strongest in his universe are. He actually has no clue about this universe, and from what he knows, it is pretty similar to Universe 7. They are twin universes after all. He wonders if they have Saiyans there, like those two that he saw on Beerus' planet. He doesn't expect the exact same people, but he does expect there to be Saiyans at least, and it turns out, no there's not. Well, at least there's not a Saiyan race anymore. There are some Saiyans still, and they happen to be on that planet Earth. But if Earth got destroyed, that means the Saiyans died too, didn't they? Well, not exactly. As Champa continues his research, Earth is suddenly brought back. He doesn't know why, how, or when this even occurred, but it's back now. Huh. Well, kind of defeats the purpose of trying to get the Super Dragon Balls. It still would be nice to have them though, and he does want to do this tournament, but he's curious. What made it come back, and why are there strong people here in general? Why did it get destroyed in the first place? He's definitely going to have to check it out. So, he ends up going to Earth. And Vados tells him, just as they're heading over, it seems there's a weird event happening there. Great, is Earth gonna get destroyed again? Well, maybe, she doesn't know for sure, but she tells him there's like a portal to hell or something opening up there. Alright, Champa's definitely gonna need to check this out. Even if he didn't want to go to Earth, he kinda needs to now. Whatever this is kinda pissing him off. All these weird events happening around here, he definitely wants to know what's going on. Champa arrives on Earth, and sees a bunch of villains coming out of a portal from hell. Oh yeah, these people definitely aren't supposed to be here. Of course, our heroes know about this portal from hell, and they're trying to stop all these villains from coming in and attacking cities and whatever. But then they see this random purple cat guy come in. He takes a deep breath and essentially wipes everything out by just shooting air at them. Not the strangest thing that they saw, but still pretty amazing. The fact that he did that by just breathing essentially. Inadvertently, he just stopped this crisis on Earth, and without all that stuff from hell happening, thanks to Vados also intervening and trying to close that portal, He even saved 17 from being possessed. But at some point, the group does approach Champa, curious as to who he is and why he's so strong. Is he a foe or a friend? Well, he doesn't really know either. He wouldn't use either of those terms to describe himself, and he introduces himself formally. He is Champa, the god of destruction of this universe. Whoa, wait. The god of destruction of this universe? And Vegeta actually briefly remembers him. Of course, these two timelines are different. Frieza probably would have still ended up destroying Planet Vegeta regardless, even without a god of destruction suggesting it to him. And for all we know, Champa would probably come across Planet Vegeta at some point, and Vegeta might have some knowledge of him. But as Champa looks closer at these people, he realizes, wait a second, how did it just now click with him? That guy that he saw in Universe 7, that was Vegeta, the same one that he's seeing right here, the same one that he saw so long ago on Planet Vegeta. He's surprised he survived this long. The two of them knew that the universes are pretty much the same, except they know that Champa's universe is actually a little bit ahead, it seems. So this is what a few extra years of development looks like, compared to that universe at least. But one thing that confuses him is he sees Goku, who is a child for some reason. Every party is equally confused here. Champa has no idea what the hell's going on here, and everyone on Earth doesn't know who this guy is. So it takes a lot of explanations and catching up, especially for Champa, who wants to learn more about this planet and this universe in general. But from what he could tell, despite the fact that these guys have a few extra years ahead of the ones in that other universe, their history seems exactly the same. It's pretty fascinating when he thinks about it. The universes are very similar. I know, it's still kind of weird to consider this universe basically another timeline that's a couple years ahead, but like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it was pretty much the only way I can get this scenario to work. Creative liberties and all. Alright, now Champa needs to figure out how to make this work. So, they do have these same people here, which is great, and Earth is back too, which means good food for him. But he wants to see how strong these Saiyans are. And it actually seems like there's a couple of them here. He didn't really get to learn too much about the ones in Universe 7, but he assumes it's pretty much the same there. And thankfully here, a lot of the Saiyans are older, at least the hybrid Saiyans. There on Beerus' planet, there's only the two pure Saiyans there. Here, he's seeing hybrid Saiyans as well, they're kids. And in the case of Pan, they're grandkids. He asked the Saiyans to show their full power. He just wants to test something out. Don't worry, no pressure. He'll explain more to them later. So, they begin showing off their strength. And the Saiyans actually do seem pretty powerful. Vegeta's actually one of the strongest of them. But there still is another form that he doesn't really have access to yet. He knows how to get it, but he says there's something beyond it. And Champa's trying to remember. Oh yeah, the form that they had there. It was some sort of red-haired and blue-haired form. They had two of them or something. Red hair? Oh, Goku has something like that. Well, not really hair, more like red fur. He transforms, going into Super Saiyan 4. Whoa, this is completely different than what he saw there. But it seems a lot weaker too. There's also no godly energy whatsoever coming off of it. This kind of bums Goku out. This is his strongest form after all, and Champa's kind of weirded out by it too because magic clothes, him getting older and all. The fact that he's literally turning into a monkey, this is so weird. From what he remembers back there, their hair just changed color, like that Super Saiyan form that they showed. But if this is this guy's strongest form, yeah, he might as well test it out. Meaning he and Goku are going to fight with Goku using Super Saiyan 4. Of course, he still loses against Champa, but Champa still is impressed. Okay, this might work, but it is going to take some time. They definitely need some training before the tournament. Training? Tournament? What is he talking about? Oh yeah, he completely forgot to explain. Remember how he mentioned that he's the god of destruction in this universe? Well, there's another one. Actually, there's a couple more, but there's another one exactly like this one, a twin universe. The only difference is they're a few years behind. Remember how he mentioned he saw some red-haired and blue-haired form? Well yeah, the people he saw using that form, it was Goku and Vegeta. There's another form beyond Super Saiyan 4. He tells them it was called Super Saiyan God or something, which they clearly don't have access to yet because they don't have any sort of godly energy within them. Goku and Vegeta are immediately interested. But Champa hates to burst their bubble. He actually never figured out how to get this form because he didn't even think like this. He didn't realize he would have to be recruiting these people for a tournament. So he has no idea how to get it either, but maybe if they train with him and Vados, they will get access to God Keys somehow. Either way, they're gonna need to come with him. He wants them for a tournament. And of course, they're a bit skeptical at first, but Champa did just help save Earth, so maybe they kind of owe it to him, especially because he's a god of destruction and they don't really want to anger him, especially Vegeta, who does know a little bit about him. It's all very strange for them, especially for Champa, but eventually, he starts to put a team together. Goku and Vegeta do end up training with him, while the other Saiyans do stay on Earth, but they are interested in joining the tournament. The three of them that pique his interest the most are Gohan, Goten, and Trunks. Hybrid Saiyans who, according to Goku and Vegeta, have huge potential, although they've been kind of squandering it because they've been living normal lives as humans, basically. There's also Pan and Bulla, But the latter doesn't really seem interested in fighting, and the former isn't really too strong, and she's kinda young right now. So Champa decides that the best team to have would be Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks. Although he kinda needs to whip those hybrid Saiyans into shape. Exactly what Goku and Vegeta wanted too. Thankfully, Trunks has been getting some fighting experience at least. But as for the other two, it's kind of in the middle. But Champa's attention is focused on someone else. Yeah, he does want to have the hybrid Saiyans, but Goku recommends someone else. Oob, another strong fighter from Earth that recently just got a lot stronger too. So Champa ends up seeking him out as well. Goku said that he's pretty strong, so he wants to check this out. And Oob is actually way stronger than he thought. He's just an Earthling, and he's not a Saiyan, so Champa didn't really expect him to have too much potential. But something is strange about him. He has a godly presence. Wait, what? He thought they didn't have any access to godly ki or whatever, so why does this guy have it? Goku and Vegeta have no idea about it, but Champa decides to ask someone else. Goku and Vegeta say it might be because of Majin Buu somehow, and Champa has no idea who that is, so he goes to the sacred world of Kais. And remember, all I'm really changing in these universes is the fact that Champa and Vados exist, so the Supreme Kai here is still going to be Shin, or Kibito Shin here because he's still fused in this timeline. And he explains about Majin Buu, the backstory and all. So, Oob is the reincarnation of Majin Buu, or at least Kid Buu, who probably did have some trace amounts of godly ki within him, if not big amounts of godly ki. And he also fused with Majin Buu, the other Buu that also probably would have had some sort of godly presence within him because he did have the Grand Kai absorbed and all. Holy crap, this guy probably has godly ki. He's probably way stronger than the Saiyans, at least once they get his potential unlocked. If he trains at the same rate as the Saiyans, he could probably surpass them. I mean, just think of the potential he has. So, Champa's definitely going to scoop him up and bring him to the planet too, meaning Oob's going to be training with Goku and Vegeta. Although, they don't really have too much time. The tournament is slowly creeping up, and they're not going to be getting Super Saiyan God or anything like that anytime soon. But at least they've established a relationship with Champa, I guess. Champa has new students, and he learned more about his universe, and he has a team set up. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Trunks, and Oob. It'll definitely be interesting to see how they perform, and he hopes they're definitely going to be better than Beerus' team. Not just so he could win, but just so he could shove it in Beerus' face. The two teams are both excited. Mainly GT's team because they know that they're going to meet themselves there, or probably will. They still don't know what team Beerus is going to bring, and then they arrive at the tournament grounds. And both sides are equally speechless. Goku and Vegeta see each other. Goku sees that he's younger. Goku and Vegeta from Universe 7 also see their kids from this timeline, with Trunks being noticeably older. Oob sees Buu. Gohan notices Piccolo there too. It gives everyone whiplash. They're definitely gonna need some time to process things before the fights begin, as well as explaining all the differences here. The groups begin conversing. Gohan's elated to see Piccolo again, and Universe 7's team learns that Piccolo in that universe ended up dying recently. And as for Buu and Oob, they feel some sort of weird connection. Well, Oob knows exactly why, but Buu doesn't really know. At least until it's explained to him. Goku and Vegeta also interact a lot with Goku and Vegeta, as well as Gohan and Trunks. Goku's glad to see that Gohan's still fighting, but apparently not really. It's only for this tournament, but yeah, I guess he still is fighting. And as the groups discuss more and more, they come to realize the only real difference between them is the fact that one universe is ahead of the other. Up until Majin Buu, and even a few years after that, everything else remained the same. The only difference in Universe 7 is the fact that Beerus ended up waking up. And for some reason, Frieza was revived in that universe, but not here. Universe 7 doesn't really have too many stories to tell because they really know everything. Mainly just the Frieza resurrection thing and the fact that Beerus showed up on their planet. But as for Universe 6's group, they actually have a really good description of what happened. They have some pretty cool stories after all. Actually, not too many, but apparently Vegeta was just recently taken over by a Tuffle parasite. And Earth just blew up too. Plus, a portal opened to Hell and they were trying to take over 17 for some reason. Android 17, that's a name they haven't heard in a while. The groups continue discussing with each other, also addressing the elephant in the room of Goku being a kid for some reason in Universe 6. It takes a lot of explanation and they probably won't have enough time to cover everything, because at some point the tournament itself is going to start, but they definitely want to talk after the fact and figure out the differences between them. In terms of combat at least, they'll be able to figure out the differences in battle. Especially with the first fight because it's going to be between the two Gokus, and the two are hyped up beyond belief, fighting themselves from another timeline. That's huge. The two Gokus get ready to fight each other. You could probably imagine how they're feeling too. I mean, it's Goku facing Goku. What better opponent than himself? Well, little does Goku know, at least Universe 7 Goku, little does he know that Universe 6 Goku is not going to be a good match for him. And the same applies to Universe 6 Goku too. They don't realize the gap in power that they have. The two start out in base, and Universe 7 Goku is actually kind of confused. It seems like this Goku's weaker than him. Universe 6 Goku powers up, going into Super Saiyan. And even then, Universe 7 Goku's still having an easy time. Alright, well, looks like it's time to pull out his trump card. He goes way past Super Saiyan. Not just 2 or 3, but to a form that Universe 7 Goku's never seen before. He looks like he's a monkey, and instead of being a kid, he turns into an adult again. GT Goku shows off Super Saiyan 4. Goku's amazed. Universe 7 Goku, that is. He's never seen something like this, and he didn't even know this was a form that he could access. It's awesome. And this is apparently this guy's strongest form. It's weird how it turned him into an adult too, and it made his clothes disappear or something? He has a lot of questions, but now's not the time to ask. He wants to see the power of it. He powers up into Super Saiyan, and the two begin fighting. And GT Goku's confused. Still, he's not able to keep up, even in Super Saiyan 4. What is this? How is he so strong? But Universe 7 Goku can tell. It's the lack of God Ki. Wow, God Ki is kind of a crutch if it makes him that strong. And yeah, Universe 7 Goku's amazed. He didn't consider how much stronger it made him, even in comparison to this version of himself, because this version of himself is a few years older and actually has a better Super Saiyan form. But without God Ki, he's not really as buffed as this Goku. It's really strange for both of them, actually. And GT Goku stops fighting. He wants to learn more about this power, this godly ki that he has, and Goku decides to show off what he means. He shows off Super Saiyan God, a pure incarnation of that godly ki. Of course, there's trace amounts of it in his other forms too. I mean, just in his base form alone he has God Ki, but this is the true showing of it. This is the form that originally got him that godly ki, and GT Goku doesn't even know how to react. He can't even sense this energy. He could tell it's strong. Just the presence, the aura, the pure godliness, for a lack of a better word. He could just tell that this form is something insane, something way beyond his scope of imagination. And he wants to know more about it. He tells the Universe 7 Goku, come at him with everything he's got. Well, alright, if he asks so. And with a single hit, he's able to knock GT Goku out of the ring completely. And not just knocking him out of the ring, but knocking him out unconscious, sending him all the way back into his base form. The others from Universe 6 watch on amazed. That power. Champa's amazed too. He saw it before and he knew about this, but he didn't realize how far ahead this Goku was. But Universe 7 Goku notices something strange. He tries to sense the ki from others in the crowd. And from Universe 6, there actually is some God Ki that he can sense. He can't tell really who though, but it looks like he's gonna have to fight everyone to see. Next up, he's facing Universe 6 Vegeta. He would love to face his Universe 6 self again, but that's gonna have to wait. Universe 6 Goku wants to get a lot stronger too before he faces this Goku again, which makes sense. And Vegeta's confident. Even with godly ki, he probably will be able to win this. It must have been some fluke or something, right? I mean, he can't even sense the power. If it was really that strong, maybe he could sense it, but he doesn't really want to mess with it either. He's acting confident, but he's also a little bit concerned. Because look at Champa too. It's the same thing with him. He can't sense Champa's ki, but he knows Champa's strong. And this fight goes pretty much like the last one did. Goku wins with no effort at all, even just in his base form alone. Vegeta's even weaker than the GT Goku because GT Goku's probably the strongest on that team right now. Probably. I'm saying that for a reason. You'll see as we go on. Goku continues fighting without any effort at all, eliminating Gohan and Trunks next. And then the final fighter is up against him, and Goku can sense it, that godly ki. This is Oob, that guy that was talking to Boo before, the reincarnation of him or something. That's where he was sensing the godly ki, and Champa knew about it too, obviously. But Goku can actually tell, this guy, he has some godly ki within him, but he doesn't know if Oob has full access to it yet. And Oob says he's been trying to work towards it. He knew about it. Champa was trying to get him to access it, but he can't really channel it correctly yet. And Goku starts asking about him. So he's Boo reincarnated. How old is Oob? Well, GT Goku butts in too from the crowd. He says he met Oob a while ago at a tournament, only a few years after this time in Goku's universe. So that means Oob's already born in their universe too, right? Well, it should be. And he's already born here, just very young. He just doesn't know about him yet. Oob is also part Boo, as he explains. Not only is he the reincarnation of Kid Boo, but he also has good Boo fused within him now. And he's been trying to hone this godly ki even more. Training with Champa has helped, but he just still needs to learn how to access it better. It's there, he just doesn't know how to tap into it effectively. And the GT crew is amazed, because once Oob actually starts fighting Goku, he's keeping up with him. He's actually channeling the godly ki somewhat. Not that they could tell, they can't even sense it, but he's actually fighting pretty well. Universe 7 Goku's impressed too. Of course, his power isn't anything close to his, but still, he's so far beyond the other people in his universe. That's how much godly ki helps here. But he's just impressed, all this from an Earthling. He knows he's Boo's reincarnation too, but still, it's pretty amazing. And it gets him curious. he wants to find Oob in his universe too. Even if he's young right now, he could train him later on, because apparently that's what that Goku did too. He found Oob at a tournament and then started training him. So it looks like Goku's gonna have to do the same here. He didn't think Boo actually would have gotten reincarnated. Like, he knows he asked for it, but seeing this in person and seeing how powerful he is, it gets him hyped up beyond belief. It's incredible. And the most amazing part is, Oob could sense Goku. He could sense that godly ki within him, how strong he truly is. No one else could sense it before, but Oob can. He could tell. Goku's far beyond his power. If that's what he can do with godly ki, he needs to work more towards it. And it's not just Goku either, Vegeta from this universe too. Even though Vegeta's just in base chilling around right now, he can still sense that godly ki. It's incredible. He tries to explain it to the others too, but it's really hard to explain. Although, Goku still does end up winning the fight though. It was fun. He got to fight his other self, another version of Vegeta, even another version of Gohan and Trunks, which is weird for Trunks especially, but still fun. Each universe is amazed by the other, and they hope to see them again. I mean, it is them after all, it's just other versions of themselves. So they definitely want to see them in the future. Maybe a rematch sometime. That could be fun. Trunks and Gohan also meet Trunks and Goten from Universe 7. It's a shame that Gohan from Universe 7 is not here, but they at least get to meet that Trunks and Goten. It's really weird for Trunks to meet his future self, or at least a version of his future self, because this isn't the only future Trunks that's here. We're going to actually see another one too, soon enough. And for Goten, he'd get to see his GT self too, because he would be in the stands too, just watching on, even if he wasn't part of the tournament. It's all very strange, but also very cool at the same time. It's such an odd experience. The fact that there's a multiverse in general is mind-blowing, but the fact that there's other versions of themselves, that's really the kicker right there. Champa is pretty bummed that he lost. He thought his team would be much better, but hey, at least they got the experience, and these guys did show them the ropes, so maybe that'll get those two closer to getting Super Saiyan God, and Oob, maybe it'll get him a better control on God Ki. Who knows though? Although, this does mean that Beerus gets the Super Dragon Balls. Not that Champa really needed them, because Earth is already back anyways, because it was wished back by the mortals. So now Beerus has the wish. And he decides to do something pretty nice for Champa. His wish is one that's kind of odd. He wishes to restore Goku's age, Universe 6 Goku's age. As Champa and his crew take the trip back, they notice that Goku starts growing again, and he becomes an adult. He's no longer a kid. Of course, Goku's elated, and everyone's just confused as to what happened, but they realize that Beerus used the wish for that. How nice. Champa's grateful for it, but he doesn't really want to show it. Although, this is going to be really helpful going forward. Since Goku's not a kid anymore, well, it's pretty obvious how that's going to help out. Goku's going to have a lot more power to have access to. And this will really help in his training. But either way, Goku's just glad to be an adult again. It was weird being in that kid body. He wonders how much more effectively he uses forms now that he's back in this body. It'll be so much better. Of course, he doesn't have his tail anymore, which is strange. But it seems he still has access to Super Saiyan 4 on command. He tries it out and it works still, which is great. That's the one thing he was concerned about. Not that it's really going to matter too much though, because now he wants to pursue that Super Saiyan God thing. That seems awesome. So they've learned about the ritual too. Goku and Vegeta would have told the Universe 6 version themselves about it. Instead of training towards it like Vegeta did, they could actually just do the ritual. They have more than enough Saiyans here. And apparently, the ritual even worked when Pan wasn't even born yet. And now, Pan's actually a person here, so they could use her in the ritual, as well as anyone else because Bulla's there too. And obviously they still have Gohan, Goten, and Trunks. The ritual is done first on Goku. He gets Super Saiyan God, and yeah, he's amazed with the power. He could definitely see what he was fighting against now. He can't believe the jump was this huge. Vegeta wants to jump in next and get the ritual done on him too, which does happen. So while they're getting the ritual done, what's happening in Universe 7? Well, I want to focus more on Universe 6, but I'm just going to say for now, Universe 7 doesn't really have anything that changes. Nothing about Zamasu would really change since it's an alternate timeline, and Trunks would have never encountered Universe 6 either, so there's no interactions changing there. We don't really need to cover the present timeline. It is weird though, because they were warned about a Tuffle stealing Vegeta's body, and they think that Goku Black might actually be that Tuffle. Maybe there's some sort of change there, but who knows. Outside of that interaction though, the last arc doesn't affect this one much. They assume that Goku Black's maybe that Tuffle parasite, but they come to find out his true identity later on. And really, the only other change I can see happening in Universe 7 is that maybe Goku asked Dende about Oob earlier on. So he'd know of him earlier on just like in Dragon Ball Super, but he'd still have to wait to train him either way. It wouldn't really change too much. And I don't think Zamasu would want to mess with Universe 6 either. His Zero Mortals plan would still go pretty much the same. Like I said, nothing's going to change about that arc, although Champa would end up hearing about it. Apparently some Kai from Universe 10 in another timeline went rogue, also stealing Goku's body in another timeline. Oh my god, all this stuff is confusing. So many Gokus, so many timelines, all this weird stuff. He doesn't want to deal with it. He just wants a strong rival. Which now, he has a few of them. Goku, Vegeta, and Oob all have access to Godly Ki. And Oob is actually seeming to pull ahead because he already had so much latent ki within him. You might be wondering why Oob is so strong, but if you look into the Moro arc, look how strong he is there, and he's just a kid who barely even knows how to use his power yet. Of course, GT wasn't written with this Godly Ki in mind either. This concept, especially with Oob right here, this was introduced all in Super. But retroactively, I can apply that concept to this GT timeline, I guess. And when you apply it like that, especially with Oob being Majoob now, you gotta consider how strong he is. He probably would be above Goku and Vegeta at this rate, if not way beyond them. But either way, Champa's happy. He has 3 strong people here, 2 Super Saiyan gods, and then Oob. He's very happy his brother made that wish for Goku especially too. I mean, he could have gotten a Super Saiyan god either way. But having Goku be an adult is much better than him being a kid still. And with everyone training, what's gonna happen going forward? Well, I feel like the Shadow Dragon saga would still happen, at least it would start, but it wouldn't really be an issue. When you have people this strong fighting against the Shadow Dragons, they're not gonna be an issue at all. Just one of them alone could take on the Shadow Dragons with no problem at all. Of course, by the time they realize something bad is happening on Earth, they could just teleport back there thanks to Goku. And the Shadow Dragons would be stopped as quickly as they appear. No Omega Shenron either, it's just gonna be stopped before anything even happens. That would have definitely been disastrous if they didn't have Godly Ki, but now with it, there's not really a threat that they face, which is cool. It kind of sucks for Universe 7 though, because they just faced Zamasu and everything. That was an actual big challenge for them, but here, yeah, they faced the Shadow Dragons, but not really a big deal. Also, this is good. Next time they meet the Universe 7 people, they could warn them about the Shadow Dragons and all those other Dragon Ball sets. Just stick with the normal Earth's Dragon Balls for now and they'll be fine, hopefully. But to prevent anything like that's from happening, it would be good to warn them. And yeah, I know we're kind of flying through, but soon enough, we will have a tournament of power. That's still gonna happen thanks to the events in Universe 7. And in terms of the exhibition match, there would probably be an exhibition match between Universe 6 and 7. Zeno would love to see that. Of course, I feel like Universe 7 would still be ahead thanks to having much more experience with Godly Ki, but they actually get to see now. The team for Universe 7 would probably still be Goku, Gohan, and Boo. But as for Universe 6, the team would be Goku, Vegeta, and Oob. And they get to show off the fruits of their training. Goku's very glad to see how much they've grown. They already have Super Saiyan God, and as for Oob, he's grown even stronger too. The fight with his alternate self is a lot more fun, now that he's an adult and actually has access to Godly Ki. Of course, he still is ahead. But he still has fun and he's glad to see the growth. Oh yeah, and of course Zeno's gonna love this too. They are freaked out by the prospect of the tournament, especially with what's gonna happen with the losing universes, but it should be fine. Both Gokus are hyped up. And as for the others, well, they're kinda unsure, but hey, maybe it'll go well. Universe 6 isn't really too confident though. They're not gonna go in with a defeatist attitude, but they see Universe 7, they realize they're already better. But maybe they could team up during the tournament. That might be nice, there's nothing really against that. But more importantly, they need to figure out a team now. So what would Universe 6's team look like? I think it would be pretty clear cut. Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Goten, and Trunks are pretty obvious. Maybe Pan would even join the team. Even if she isn't that strong, she would probably want to join. And she'd be stronger than she was before. Maybe she'd be a good option. Oob would also 100% be on the team. 17 and 18 would be there too. 17 was saved here, and now he's actually more involved with the group. After that whole Super 17 thing, which was very closely avoided, he realized that he should probably be in contact with them more. Especially his sister, so the 2 of them are on the team. And finally, they'll have Roshi, and that makes 10 members. The team is somewhat similar to Universe 7's team, but also pretty different. Really, the biggest issue is with the humans because now they're much older, and for Roshi, this wouldn't really affect him because he's been old regardless. But as for people like Krillin, Yamcha, and Shinhan, yeah, their age is catching up to them as humans. For the Saiyans and androids, this isn't really an issue. But for them, it puts them kind of behind, and that's why they're not going to be here. Well, excluding Roshi, of course. But now with these 2 interesting teams set up, especially if they're going to be fighting against each other and probably alongside each other, what's the outcome of the tournament going to look like? For Goku and Vegeta, they continue working with their godly forms, also trying to combine Godly Ki with Super Saiyan 4 in any way possible. They're not too sure what they're aiming for, but they know there's something there. There's gotta be something to work with. They've already accessed an evolution in Super Saiyan 4. Without even realizing, the Godly Ki that they have in their base form and every other form, it now applies to Super Saiyan 4 as well. So if they're aiming to improve that, keep that in mind. Of course, Blue is still their strongest form. But maybe there's a way to mutate Super Saiyan 4 to make it a lot stronger too. Maybe combine it with the properties of Blue. It seems a little bit far-fetched, but they keep it in mind. More importantly though, they're not even the strongest in their universe. Oob is still training as well. And with his insane innate potential and his head start with God Ki, he's actually pretty far ahead of them, growing at a pretty insane rate as well. They feel like they're prepared for the Tournament of Power either way, as they train more and more in preparation.
They're getting more confident, but what's going to happen with Universe 7? That's their main concern. Not because Universe 7 is going to defeat them or anything, but they know they're going to have to encounter them eventually. There can only be one winner here, apparently. Well, that remains to be seen. Once everyone arrives at the World of Void, the two teams immediately begin discussing. Universe 7 was thinking the exact same thing. I mean, look at who they're fighting. They don't want to eliminate themselves from another universe. They have a much better idea. Why not join forces? At least for the time being. Imagine that. There'll be a team of 20 instead of just 10 each. With their combined powers, they should be able to win. But that's the thing. Only one of them can win, although there is a solution. Gohan from Universe 7 brings this up. If the prize is the Super Dragon Balls, they could just wish everyone back. Oh yeah, and one thing to note about Universe 7's team. With them seeing the performance of Oob, and with Boo being more motivated by seeing him in general, Boo is actually on the team. There's no Frieza. Otherwise, Universe 7's team is the exact same. Actually, it's the team that was initially planned, so even better. The two universes agree to this. Whoever wins will wish the other universe back, and hopefully that means one of them will win. And immediately as the tournament begins, everyone teams up. One of the most powerful duos here is the two Gokus, as well as the two Vegetas and Boo and Oob. The androids all team up, the hybrids all team up, and overall, it's really effective and people notice this immediately. Those two are teaming up. They look to Zeno, but he allows it. It's fun. A team of 20 versus everyone else? That's pretty cool because everyone is now focused on them. It's a double-edged sword. They have more people on their team, but they have more eyes on them as well. Other universes attempt to do this, but none of them have the bond that Universe 7 and 6 do. And they just end up betraying each other. So this hastens the amount of people that get eliminated right away. Both that and the fact that they're fighting a massive team. Not just a massive team, a really strong one in fact. One of the Pride Troopers tries to break up the two teams. He says it's unjust. Everything that they're doing, they're fighting unfairly. And he's gonna bring them down. It's Toppo of Universe 11. And he faces the two Vegetas. Well, if you really want to challenge, the two Vegetas tell him to fight. He's come to the right place. Vegeta from Universe 7 goes into blue, with GT Vegeta following suit. He's surprised to see this. He knew they've been training, but he already has Super Saiyan Blue. Well, it makes sense. It's an older version of himself, as expected of an alternate version of him. And as GT Vegeta walks up to him, he notes something. He never even considered the fact. The two of them must fight perfectly together. They're both Vegeta. And Universe 7 Vegeta agrees. He never thought of that either. Imagine that, two Super Saiyan Blue Vegetas fighting together in perfect synergy. The two share a grin as they then look at Toppo. And a very short battle ensues as the two Vegetas eliminate him with ease. Vegeta tells Vegeta nice work, and Vegeta says the same thing. Damn, Vegeta, that was cool. Yeah, Vegeta fought really well there. Vegeta and Vegeta really like fighting with Vegeta and Vegeta. Those two continued that strategy. It seems to be pretty effective, so they're going to continue working together. And the two Gokus noticed this too. They didn't even realize this. It never crossed their mind. They're going to be fighting pretty much the same way. Well, not the same way. They've had different training at later points in their lives. But they have the same basic fundamentals from the Turtle School, as well as pretty much everything leading up to Battle of Gods. And the two of them also have the same thing in mind. They're looking at Jiren. Goku from Universe 7 really wants to test his power, and GT Goku thinks the same. It might be a bit tough, but if the two work together, maybe they could defeat this mortal who's supposedly stronger than the god of destruction of his universe. The two immediately jump into battle, and it becomes pretty clear that they're not going to be able to do anything against Jiren. He calls them cowardly for teaming up together to fight him. One of them alone couldn't do anything, but even together, both of them can. It's pathetic. But Universe 7 Goku has an idea. GT Goku acts as a distraction, as Universe 7 Goku jumps up in the air, charging a Spirit Bomb. Or at least jumping up on a really tall rock. Not being able to fly is pretty annoying. He charges a Spirit Bomb, and this time around it's going to be much different. Not only is Universe 7 going to lend energy, but Universe 6 will as well. Goku asks everyone to lend him some energy. And surprisingly, this time even Vegeta does, both of them. And Goku can feel it. This Spirit Bomb, its power, it's incredible. He's never expected to feel anything like this. Jiren, of course, isn't stupid. He knows this is being charged. But even he's a little bit concerned about the power. Once all the godly fighters offer their power, especially Oob and Boo, the Spirit Bomb warps. Its power is so intense, it doesn't even look like a normal Spirit Bomb anymore. And Goku launches the attack right at Jiren, with GT Goku jumping out of the way just in time. Jiren tries to push it back, but he's actually struggling, and struggling a lot in fact. He needs to power up, and not just a bit, a significant amount. He continues showcasing more and more power, trying his best to push the bomb back, and he's making some progress. Goku breaks that blue Kaioken, pushing it back as well in response. But Jiren still has more reserves of energy. He could feel it. His feet are planted into the ground, being pushed back, right through the rocks in fact. The Spirit Bomb is too strong, but if he unleashes his full power, it should be enough. And he does so, And something strange happens this time. He does this, and the spirit bomb explodes. An unintended side effect. And as you'd probably imagine, this is a pretty big explosion. Goku has no idea how to react. But in the nick of time, he teleports away, and the other Goku does too. They begin teleporting around the arena, trying to grab up all their fighters. The explosion, the shockwave from it basically eliminates everybody else. Anyone who isn't strong enough to face the shockwave. Thankfully, no one is killed. They brace themselves for the impact. Although it would come close to killing a lot of people. But luckily, before the energy from the explosion hits them, it's mainly the shockwave that knocks them out first. So Goku isn't eliminated from the ring, and he didn't accidentally kill anyone. But that was a close call. He almost killed himself. Actually, not just one of himself, two of himself. And Jiren is standing there. He took the brunt of the explosion, and he actually used some power to push it back and eliminate the bomb. And now, he's actually a bit angry. In the midst of the explosion, they see a geyser of ki shoot out of the crater, an ominous red glow. Slowly, a silhouette steps out. It's Jiren, now utilizing his full power. There's no one else in the ring, just Universe 7 and Universe 6, and they look on at Jiren. Boo also heals everyone, getting them to their full capacity. And Oob follows suit using a similar technique. Goku from Universe 7 tells everyone, the real fight is only just beginning now. But don't back down yet. This is their last shot at winning. Collectively, everyone jumps in to face Jiren. But right away, he's able to knock out a lot of the fighters. Most of the weaker ones, any humans, the androids even. Most of the hybrid Saiyans except Universe 7 Gohan. But even he struggles and is eventually eliminated with Piccolo. There's only a few people left in the end. The two Vegetas, the two Gokus, Oob and Boo. And it all happened so quick, and Jiren's ready to eliminate them now. But the two Vegetas have an idea. They still have one last method of winning. Oob and Boo hold Jiren off, and then the two Vegetas jump in. And Jiren's confused, wondering where the other two Gokus went. But Universe 6 Vegeta tells him he's about to meet his demise pretty shortly. And Universe 7 Vegeta's surprised. He didn't even think of this, but it makes perfect sense. What are they talking about? Well, Jiren faced the two Gokus before, but he didn't truly face them together. Jiren has no idea what that means. But then they feel an explosive amount of ki surging. GT Vegeta comments, they actually pulled it off, just as he thought. It's the same thing Goten and Trunks used to do. That silly dance that Goku had. Of course, both of the Gokus would know it. But the result, Vegeta's not sure what it will be. A new fighter walks up. Well, not really a new fighter. As he walks up towards everyone, it looks exactly like Goku actually. Just in a different set of clothes. He chuckles. He doesn't even know what his name would be here. And he thanks Vegeta for the suggestion. The two Gokus fusing together. And he can feel the power coursing within it. It's amazing. Should he just call himself Goku? Merged Goku? I mean, Zamasu kinda did that. So yeah, let's go with that name. This is Merged Goku. He looks and sounds like Goku, just in a new outfit. But his power, it's absurd. These two were perfect to fuse together. They're the same person after all, basically. Oh yeah, and just to make things even better, Boo launches a beam at Merged Goku to heal him, rejuvenating him even further. Jiren lunges towards him, not knowing what this trick is, but he doesn't want to give Goku any more time like last time with the Spirit Bomb. As he tries to attack, Goku immediately dodges. And this isn't Ultra Instinct, no. He's just insanely fast. He reacts right away. Whoa, even he's amazed. And since the stakes are pretty high, there's no point in holding back. He would love to cycle through his forms and see what they're like here, but he just needs to use his maximum power. He charges up. His tail flickers into a blue color as his hair follows suit. And his eyes, they look weird. They're the eyes of a Super Saiyan 4, or at least similar to that. Goku's hair looks a bit longer, but he's mostly displaying the traits of Super Saiyan Blue. And he says this is strange. Both of the Gokus trying to use the power of Super Saiyan Blue, but with a little bit of Super Saiyan 4 creeping in there. This is definitely going to run down the fusion time. Universe 7 Goku remembers what Vegeta was like, so he assumes it's going to be the same here. They make quick work of Jiren. Merged Goku showcases his amazing power. Flawlessly and effortlessly, he's able to face Jiren at his full strength. Of course, Jiren is injured too, so that puts him at a big disadvantage. But he is showcasing his full strength, holding nothing back. And what better way to finish this off? Merged Goku charges his most powerful Kamehameha ever. The combined might of Universe 6 and 7. This is what he'll just simply call the multiversal Kamehameha. It all happens so fast, no one can even tell what's happening. Before their eyes, a massive beam of blue energy appears, and Jiren is instantly knocked out of the ring. And just as quickly as that all happened, Merged Goku defuses. He was using even more power than he thought, so it's good that he ended it quickly. But now, what are they supposed to do? They have to decide a victor. Universe 6 and 7 must fight, at least the remains of each. But they wish each other good luck. They've all decided on a wish anyways, so they know what the outcome of this is going to be. Either way, they're set. And the other universes are going to come back. Goku, Vegeta, and Buu from Universe 7 stare down Goku, Vegeta, and Oob from Universe 6. All share a smile. Beerus and Champa in the stands look at each other too. A bit surprised at the outcome, but also, they did kind of expect something like this. Proud of each other's universes. And for once in a long while, the two brothers share a pretty nice moment. They bask in the glory of Universe 6 and 7. Glad to know that they'll live to see another day. And not just them, but the other universes as well. But it still is time for a friendly competition, and the two brothers are immediately invested in the fight as their universes engage in one final battle. Universe 7 is advantaged. Goku and Vegeta from this universe are actually a little bit stronger. Although in terms of Buu, Oob from Universe 6 is much more advantaged. He's actually the strongest on their team. And this comes as a surprise to Goku and Vegeta from Universe 7. Universe 6 Goku's knocked out of the ring, eliminating himself and Universe 7 Goku. Oob's able to help knock out Universe 7 Vegeta, as well as Buu. This leaves only two people in the ring, Universe 6 Vegeta and Oob. They're completely caught off guard. They didn't expect Oob to be that strong, but it only continues to amaze them even more. Well, Universe 6 won fair and square, and they're glad it turned out this way. Goku chuckles, waving at the other universe. He says he'll see them soon, and thanks them for all the fun. He can't wait to see them again. Universe 7 is erased, but no one is sad or concerned about it. Universe 6 looks on hopefully, and the Grand Priest wonders why, as well as Zeno. Well, they kinda do know why. Oob is selected to be the MVP, and they ask him, what does he want for a wish? He doesn't even need to hesitate. As he sees Super Shenron in front of him, he simply asks, restore all the other universes. Zeno smiles, and so does the Grand Priest. Very well then. All the other universes are restored, and as soon as Universe 7 is back, they're ready for the next fight. They can't wait to see Universe 6 again. Besides the fact that it's literally just them, they form such a weird and unique, fun bond with them. It's pretty great, and they're glad to have the experience. And even though they did lose the Tournament of Power, it was close. Well, technically they did kind of win. They did team up with Universe 6 after all. And they did win. I mean, it was literally them and Universe 6. So they don't consider it a loss. They consider it a great experience, a fun time. As with their last encounter with Universe 6. But what lies ahead for the two universes? Both of the universes are thinking the same thing right now. Goku from Universe 6, Goku from Universe 7. They're already imagining their next encounter. It's amazing. They're gonna get to fight their greatest rivals again. Those rivals, it's themselves. What better person to fight against? And with that, we end off this series here. So, what did you guys think about this part and the series as a whole? Leave your thoughts and suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. If you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. It lets me know you guys want to see more videos like this, and it really helps out the channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already too, as well as hitting the bell icon to be notified about any future uploads on my channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Thanks for supporting the scenario all the way through.